Today we open the second exhibition in our 8-part program based on Hannah Arendt's Between Past and Future. A solo exhibition of the work of Peter KENNARD, it is inspired by Chapter 2, The Concept of History, which looks at Arendt's writings around history as a human construct. Peter is with us today, here in the gallery, to take us through the exhibition.
The stock paintings were done between 1968 and 76, and they were the first sort of political works that I did, and they came out of me being involved in the anti-Vietnam movement. And I wanted to combine what was going on in Vietnam with the invasion of Czechoslovakia, with civil rights movement, with the events of May '68, to try and bring all these together into images that didn't just reveal themselves immediately, but meant that the viewer had to disentangle what was going on, so that people didn't just see them as something that was happening at a distance, but it was something that was happening in relation to them, in relation to their lives.
And how did that then develop into your later works from the 1980s, the palette sculptures?
I've always been concerned with the sort of humanity that is set aside by world politics, and the palette originally was a commission for a homeless charity, but it turned into a three-dimensional montage in a sense. I noticed that lots of people were sleeping rough and putting down pallets they found in the street. So I wanted to make like an impression of those people onto the pallets. So they've got faces and hands on them that are then covered with sort of dust. It's to try and show that people are disregarded. It's almost like we're walking down the street and we don't see homeless people, they become invisible. And obviously the palette is a symbol of world trade. Everything's moved around the world on pallets.
Interestingly enough, you can see how the hands then, and the reference to trade with the stock market and things like that, it's a nice segue into your most recent body of work. Can you explain a bit more?
Well, the most recent body, which at the moment it's called Untitled 2020, was right at the beginning of COVID-19. They've all got stock market pages printed from different newspapers, and of course the world money markets have done very well out of COVID, and the chasm between the obscenely rich and the poor has grown. So what I've done is put images of hands, human hands, that are grappling with the numbers, or the numbers are sort of breaking into the hands like bits of shrapnel. The pages are scraped. There's a sort of violence in some of them, and they're all the human as against the seriality of the numbers of the stock market. And also we were bombarded by numbers of deaths from the virus, and so in some of these pictures the numbers have got disentangled from stocks and just become numbers that are invading the hands in different ways.
Would you consider yourself a visual historian?
I think of myself, I've called myself in the past a sort of visual journalist or a visual historian. Yeah, a visual historian could be a term. I think it's vital that history is what we're living through is actually depicted in art.